I had an accident in Fiji.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a car accident, very bad accident.
Skidded on the road.
It just lost control. It just went off the road, and I was on a bridge, and the car toppled.
You went off the bridge?
We went off the
Like
bridge.
turtle?
So me and there were two other people in the car. There was that moment between going off the bridge and falling, where I thought, okay, I'm gone. All of us, saying to each other, fuck. And
You remember the moment as it...
Yeah, and you realize that, when you're about to die also, you're saying fuck.
I mean,
Yeah,
what could you say?
What would you say?
Yeah.
So, fuck is actually such an important word.
Yeah, as Bhagwan Rajneesh explained to us, it doesn't mean only, the sexual point of it.
Yeah, it means ki, fuck, we are dying. On the 13th episode, some other chef was supposed to come that, I don't know, they caught wind of the fact that the show was going to shut down. He had said, this is the last episode. इसके बाद हम extension नहीं देंगे. So it was the last episode to be shot. And nobody was there. I called Sanjeev.
What happened to the girl? You said last episode.
So I said, Sanjeev, you shoot with the girl. You come as a guest chef.
Right.
So I called Sanjeev over as a guest chef, and Sanjeev came. He was like unprepared. He came on his bike. He had a Rajdoot.
Yeah.
So he came on his Rajdoot, landed up there, and said, in a Hero Honda.
Cyrus Says, Hansal Mehta needs no introduction, not because I'm lazy, but because he's been in the business for a long time and done everything. Television, advertising, features, controversial features, big films, small films, everything. What's left? You've done everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think cracking acting is what is left.
Okay, that way. The smaller satellite of the art form itself.
No, that's the thing where, you do one role, like during the pandemic, I think they were short of models. So they made me the Swiggy model.
Nice.
So all I had to do was say, Swiggy shuru. And I went to buy tiles in some shop for my bathroom. The tile guy, Arey, Swiggy.
50 years of making the best films in India, and he one Swiggy ad.
One Swiggy ad. So I told my wife, that's the power. मतलब घर में कोई समझता नहीं है.
But that's true, really.
Yeah.
If Face comes on one of these big shows or channels or whatever, and for at least 3 days, you're Salman Khan.
Yes.
And everybody comes to you. It's just a beautiful feeling. But Hansal, I have a memory here. Please, and if I'm wrong, I don't want you to slap me. Did we shoot an ad?
No, you know what? You auditioned for me.
Auditioned.
You and Sharman Joshi.
What was it for?
It was, there was a show that I was working on. It was a father-son relationship.
Sharman played my father.
Yeah, Sharman played your son, I think. Brother, he played your brother.
We are the same age.
This was, I'm talking of 94 or
Yeah,
95.
yeah.
Harsh Dave.
Harsh Dave! My God, famous studios, of course. They had an office there and all.
Yeah, but we did it in Khar. I had a house in Khar on 15th Road.
Yeah.
So both of you came there and I did an audition on there were no mobile phones.
Yeah.
So I had to get a Umatic camera from somewhere.
Video cam.
Umatic, big one. To shoot both of you. And, show it to Zee TV.
And Zee closed down.
No, Zee basically decided not to give me the show.
Oh, they went on with the show?
They must have made the show, but I didn't get that show.
Zee? What the hell?
They said, your casting is very bad.
Yeah. But technically, is it Zee or is it G? Is it Z or is it Z?
It's Z.
So I think we should say Z.
Z. Z. So Z
was
a...
You want work now, so let's just say Z.
Z was a very...
huge, yeah.
And Z, Z, somewhere in the 1980s, they used to call it...
We used to say Z.
I also used to call it Z, but some Americans used to call it Z, XYZ.
Really?
So it became Z.
Really? This is
the last word in entertainment.
Hansal, how do we catch up with all these changes? We just about got Z, but every day they got new words and half words and acronyms, and it's very tough.
Tell me about it. My daughter gives me hell about.
Yeah.
Suddenly she says, it's them. It's they. I said, okay, so how? So them.
For her.
Them. Okay, don't.
But the mistake would be, what would be the mistake word?
Her. Or him.
Okay.
Them.
Yeah.
So them.
But if there's three of them, it's still them. So it's confusing.
So
no?
I said, them is plural. She said, Dad, please. So I have to shut up.
Fair, but I'm still saying it's confusing. We have to find a better language than this, because them, everything is them.
I think we have to change our language. It's not better.
Oh.
It is a new language, and my daughter keeps teaching me. because and keeps correcting my woke meter.
Fair. I identify as a gorilla, for example, and finally people are accepting it. Before they would not. Now they, people say, "Oh, so is gorillas calm, so sweet, and all that." This is the standard of the conversation, Hansal. I apologize. It's not going to get better. It'll get worse. So we did a audition. So I have some memories, but I was very young. It was the early 90s or something, if I remember correctly.
94.
94. There you go. And Sharman Joshi.
Sharman was very nervous. He had never done.
He had done a love-making scene before. That's Aligarh. Yeah.
So Harsh Dave can make you do anything.
That's true. What a guy. I loved him. He was great fun. Yeah, my God.
And then instead of this show, you and Harsh Dave did a travel show.
You remember all that? He took me to Ladakh and all that.
Yeah. So I edited that show.
Oh, you edited that show. The guy called Parvez, if I remember correctly, was the director. Kashmiri guy.
Yeah.
And that was prepared me for MTV because there was just no budget, no money, no food, no
script.
No script. The script. That, thank God, because I can't read. Yeah, it's fun. So you've suffered, and you still came here. Okay. So now let's go back to your career. You tell us how it started, but I have some research which may be right or wrong, which says Khaana Khazana was the first thing that that is correct.
Yeah.
So
Khaana Khazana is what?
Because you're a foodie. You're still you're a person who loves food and all that.
I love food.
Yeah,
like your friend Kunal.
He's not my friend, yaar.
No?
He's a caterer. He brings food and we say, okay, abhi kitchen mein jao, ruk jao. We don't eat with him. There's some class issues also.
Okay.
Come on, Hansal, come on. Yeah. So
okay, then you'll throw me out also.
No, never. Gujarati manasche, na? I have to stay with the tribe also. Kunal is Marathi. I live in Mumbai, so be careful. Yeah. So tell us how that started, because
I actually was working, before that I was working in Fiji as a computer programmer, Fiji Islands.
What?
Yeah.
Why were you in Fiji?
I don't know.
This was the 70s or 80s,
No, this was 91, 92. No, they had a different thing. They had something called kava, which is kava. Kava is Nangona. It's a powder, which is a national drink of Fiji. Okay.
So your daughter's not going to be happy. I think we're already crossing many lines here.
So you mix it with water. When you enter, immigration gives you that.
What are you saying?
Really. And this is not a joke. This is really. The immigration gives you that and they do this. They clap. So it's called sevu sevu. So you start, you enter Fiji. Your mouth is fucking numb.
Wow.
Suddenly numb. You say, what happened to me? He says, no, it's kava. And so I went there. I was just out of college. I was a computer programmer.
I'm trying to understand. They force you to have a narcotic substance.
No, it's a national drink.
But it's a narcotic substance.
It is supposed.
It's a bit like bhang then. Bhang is
it's
sort
like
of a part of our tradition.
It's a dried stem or the root of of some tree, and they powder it, and it tastes like shit. But you
knock it. You just knock it.
Yeah, so it's in a bowl. It's called a tambua.
Oh.
So you take a small coconut shell, scoop it out, then you drink it, and the opposite person does this.
Why do they do that?
That's called sevu sevu. Means
like love.
Offering.
Or is it sarcastic, like another foreigner? Yeah.
No, offering. It's an offering. So, my life became about that. Every time I would drink it, it's shit. It's making me numb. But every day, I ended up with 5 people on the beach with Yangona and beer. And I was barely 23.
What the hell were you doing in Fiji? I still don't understand. I understand.
I was
for holiday.
I was experiencing retirement in the beginning of my career.
You switched.
Yeah.
Was that Benjamin Button? You went the other way. Reversed.
So I enjoyed it for some time, and then I realized that there was work. Of course, I was working for a company, and I was shooting.
Doing?
I was shooting. I went there. It was a video library company that
like a Shimaru.
Well, it was called South Pacific Recordings. So they recorded songs. So the local musicians, they would release CDs and cassettes.
It was Fiji MTV.
Yeah, totally. So SPR would record songs and local music and most of them were Bob Marley songs.
But okay,
reggae,
I get the connection. I get the connection. Yeah.
All reggae. And they also had an advertising. Small advertising arm. So they used to do ads for all these supermarkets. Today, carrots at 20% discount. So I used to shoot those ads for them. They had cameras, they had very good equipment. So my boss there had imported very good equipment from Australia. So I started tinkering with it and started enjoying it. So I told him, I said, we more than these ads, we can do other stuff. So he said, what do you want to do? I said, Sundays, we can go and shoot rugby.
Yeah, big in Fiji. Yeah.
And sevens, rugby sevens.
Rugby sevens, yeah. The concept was there that time?
Yeah, sevens and Fiji has always been the best at sevens.
Is it? Yeah.
They don't have the staying power for 14.
Yeah.
Sevens, fatafat khatam karo, too much yangona, go.
Culturally inappropriate, Hansal.
Finish sevens and have
your, what's it called?
Yangona.
Angona.
Yanghona.
I'll remember it.
Kawa. So have that. And that was, so I used to shoot rugby. I learned rugby, to understand
rugby is not easy because you'll have to follow one camera.
So we had 3 cameras. So there were 2 Australian crew members who were already working for them.
Yeah.
So they would be doing the tough camera work. They would put me on the roof of the stadium.
So you're like a master.
Top shot, wide. Wow. I'm just standing on the camera, and sometimes zooming in, and I'm getting sworn at by the Australian downstairs. And they could not pronounce my name, so they used to call me Beep.
But Hansal is easy, yeah.
They could not. They called me Beep for some reason.
Where's Beep and where's Hansal?
Yeah,
Aussie.
Yeah, that's again. That's why now I'm very happy that India wins
I
against Australia.
Now it's getting embarrassing. We're winning every time. Yeah. But not the women's situation. Let's see. Fingers crossed. I'm a cricket nut. But it's very enterprising story that you went there firstly, which you're not telling us how that actually happened.
That happened because I felt that there was not much. I was an entrepreneur. But
you had the guts to go to Fiji, where nobody knows anything about.
Because I had family there, and they.
Slowly we find out that he was the mayor of Fiji.
No.
He had people.
The president. By the way, I used to go for parties, and there's a guy dancing next to me in the national dress. So it's like a skirt, the national dress of Fiji, like Scotland.
Okay.
And they say, he's the president. I said, president of which bank? He said, no, president of Fiji. And he was dancing away next to you, and you're going on the highway, and a jeep speeds past. So the Prime Minister just went. So he's driving on his own. No
Hansal, let's stop this podcast to discuss this with the VIPs that watch this show. I know you watch this show, members of Parliament across India. You stopped with your 200 people entourage and 80,000 cars. The President and Prime Minister of Fiji dancing almost half naked next to him. I mean, without any care in the world. That's how a leader should be.
They were cool guys, and always having their Yangona.
Yangona. I'm confused. So is it Yangona or is it Kawa?
Both. For people who can't pronounce Yangona, it's Kawa.
And how long does it take to hit you?
Instantly. It just basically doesn't hit you. It just numbs your senses. And
I have a question. Does it hit you anywhere else?
It did not. I have 4 children.
Okay. Well, what an interesting. Do people know this about you? This whole Fiji arm?
Well, they do. I've spoken about it to. My family knows about it. It's my dark past. But it was a lovely time.
You were single, carefree, no responsibilities.
I wasn't single. I was married.
You were married?
I got married at 21.
And you left your wife behind?
Yeah, and my son. I got a son at 22. I think in a way I ran away. I said, "Hey, kya ho gaya? There's this boy. He's now very useful now, my son. He co-directed Scam 1992.
Right, yeah.
So he's a very useful boy. So at that time I didn't find him very useful.
But that's an amazing story. I wish I had run away after 1 year of marriage.
Yeah,
so my wife would have endorsed it also. She would have said, please keep going.
My wife then endorsed it.
But that was great. I mean, you actually did that. And how long were you away?
I was away for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years. 93 I came back. So by then I was completely converted. I had stopped programming. I was, busy tinkering with editing machines and all that. And I said,
so what do you think? You got this whole hardware sort of knowledge because they had this equipment from Australia, etc.
So I started playing with it. It was far more interesting than computer programs.
Right.
So I came back and...
why did you come back then?
Well,
I mean, I know you have a wife, but that's not necessarily the reason to come back. I mean, in some cultures, you come back. Yeah. You just have a kawa, forget about them and move on.
Yeah, well... I came back. I had an accident in Fiji.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a car accident, very bad accident. And I had again this thing of the roads were very nice, wide, something that is alien to Indians.
Hansal, after Mumbai, and everything is nice and wide, and
No, but this is
space.
90s Mumbai. That
A
also
little
feels
better,
like much,
You bastards don't know how nice our roads were.
much better than
There was only 8 holes in Marine Drive, for example. Huh?
And we had only linking road.
Yeah.
And the Western Express Highway was a highway.
It was actually a highway, yeah. Now nobody knows what it is. Yeah.
So
What was the accident? You were driving
I was
yourself?
driving, so the roads were really nice, and so highway there would always be. This
So you were
challenge.
speeding?
And from Nandi is the place where the international airport is, where my office was, and Suva is the capital. So I said I'll drive to Suva this morning in 2 hours. It's actually 3.5 hour journey. So
Not that we are endorsing that again.
not totally don't endorse.
Yeah, really.
And I don't endorse it at all. But it was a terrible accident. It had rained the previous night. My car lost control. Went off
Skidded on the road.
It just lost control. It just went off the road, and I was on a bridge, and the car toppled.
You went off the bridge?
We went off the
Like
bridge.
turtle?
So me and there were 2 other people in the car. We.
This is not a sad story, no?
No, it's.
This is a really silly podcast. I can't come back from a sad story.
No, it was there was that moment between going off the bridge and falling, where I thought, "Okay, I'm gone."
So your
And
life.
all of us, saying, "Fuck," and
You remember the moment where, as it...
yeah, and you realize that when you're about to die, also, you're saying "fuck."
I mean,
Yeah,
what could you say?
What would you say?
Yeah.
So fuck is actually such an important word.
Yeah, as Bhagwan Rajneesh explained to us, it doesn't mean only the sexual point of it.
Yeah, it is. It means ki, fuck, we are dying.
Yeah.
And then we landed in a soft field, and the car was completely shattered.
But you landed in the car on the upside down turtle.
Upside down, and we.
So your head and all must have been
Nothing.
What?
Everyone was wearing seat belts. Seat belts were compulsory.
This is a great story.
Yeah.
You see, everybody lives, and because of seatbelts, everything was good, and you landed in the field, and you with the girl of your dreams.
And we were pulled out of the car,
Huh.
and the cops came, and said somebody reported you were speeding, and they took me.
But you were speeding.
I was. So
I mean, the car turned turtle. I mean, what case do you have?
Yeah,
what are
nothing.
you saying, officer?
Nothing,
Bloody
nothing.
bridge was broken.
Nothing. So I spent a day.
Oh, they put you in.
No, they didn't put me in. They just kept me at the reception.
But how
And
were
the
you treated, being
and very nicely.
non-Fiji?
So there was an Indian guy who, I remember his name.
They look like us, but no, more or
No,
less.
the Indian guy. His name was Brijendra Prasad. I still remember him.
Wow. Yeah.
So Brijendra Prasad came down.
Direct descendant of our great leader?
Must be.
We are just asking. Don't get upset. Yeah. Then?
So Brijendra came, and so I remember him, he came and he said, and they speak in Bhojpuri. So
What?
Yeah, they speak.
Oh, so the Indians who are there speaking
Yeah,
Bhojpuri.
very
So they've all
odd.
come from the UP.
But even the
Bihar belt.
Fijians, the locals also, they speak a lot of that mix of Fijian and
So
Hindi.
6
and
guys
Bhojpuri.
from UP went to Fiji and now everybody speaks Bhojpuri. You fucking Indians. Everywhere you go, you do this. You take away cultures.
So मतलब his first was कौन सी करता है तुम?
You must have said, I want my passport. This is ridiculous. I don't
कौन सी
escape
करता है?
India.
तुम beer piece. So I said हाँ. So he came with beer.
What?
So we had beer, we had Yangona, and
So just to understand culturally, you crashed the car, went turtle, nearly killed 3 people, and the first thing they do is offer you beer. This is a country I have to go to just to experience it.
Not first. In the end of the day,
Yeah.
I was quite
Emotionally shattered.
I was a bit worried. Suddenly I felt I remembered my parents.
Did your folks know what happened? Did you call and
There was no mobile phone that I call him instantly.
Right,
you had
right.
to book
book that call and
book
check,
a call
yeah.
or make a STD
What a
call.
world we had,
ISD
really.
call, and
Yeah.
ISD was like very, very expensive. And
You're
you
telling me.
actually used to shout on the phone.
I had a girl I liked abroad. I called her once and left it. It's just not worth the money.
Yeah. Very expensive.
Very expensive. These people don't know what 80s and 90s were like in
And
Mumbai.
my
Yeah.
company used to get billed. So they used to
Ask you questions.
They used to question me about my phone calls.
Because there's no business attached to the phone call. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's when I said,
Have you written your biography?
no.
A colourful life. You're not even started. You're not even famous or anything yet. You're just an Indian guy in Fiji.
I was very famous in Fiji.
You were?
Because I was the only one. So I used to write scripts for radio over there. Because for Indian radio.
Huh.
Because I was the only guy who could write in proper Hindi.
Oh.
Everybody.
In Devanagari, you mean, properly.
No, in Hindi. Spoken Hindi also was correct.
Yeah.
Everybody there used to speak in Bhojpuri. So the radio also was in Bhojpuri.
हाँ.
आज हमारे साथ है.
हाँ.
हम आज आपको हरिहरन का एक बहुत पुराना गाना सुनाइस.
हाँ.
सुनी. Yeah, so they used to, they were
But if
themselves embarrassed.
you're the only one who speaks Hindi and not Bhojpuri, who are you talking to?
No, so I picked up Bhojpuri.
And that's what.
I picked up Bhojpuri.
You started with Hindi and then you had to convert.
My friends, they kept saying कि नहीं तुम
ये नहीं समझते लोग.
मत बोलो बहुत मीठा लगता है तुम्हारा जबान. They used to keep saying बड़ा मीठा लगता है तुम्हारा जबान. मतलब भारत से एक आदमी का जबान साफ है.
You had too much Tamiz for the culture there.
Too much
Indian
of
culture
Hindi.
there. Too
It
much
was very
Hindi.
cultural. Like today,
I've been saying too much Hindi in this country. Cut it down.
now they call me a cultural
Misfit.
Misfit, yeah. मतलब वहाँ पर I took Indian culture to Fiji, man.
Yes. For me, Bharat Ratna is too less. We have to go beyond that.
Beyond that.
You've done,
Fiji
and that
Ratna.
at 23. You're like the Tendulkar of cinema in that sense, no? Or entertainment, because it's radio first.
But that's where I picked up cooking. After having Yangona.
So all this 40-minute conversation is just to bring us to the first part of his life, which is Khaana Khazana. What is the food like there, but?
Food is very good. So see, what used to happen, 8 to 2 is your office time.
I'm stopping the podcast. Book my flight.
Yeah.
This place is too good to be true, bro. You bang the car, they give you beer, 8 to 2, you're done. I love it.
At 3 o'clock you're home.
Wow.
What do you do?
Wow.
So you go out, you go, running on the beach. You do stuff. The gym is very alien over
And
there.
also you were married, so you should be running after girls. Awkward pause.
No. She's, God bless her soul.
Who?
My wife. She passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because of my Fiji. No.
Talk about self-bakra. Very mean, Hansal bhai. Very mean. Kapi duck se. Cut it off. Not funny, bro. That's sad. It is.
Okay.
We'll take a second to breathe. Let's get back. Yeah. So, you were telling us about the
So
food.
I started. So the food there was, they had this thing called Lovo. So I told your caterer Kunal about it.
Lovo. People take it down, huh? And
So Lovo is a underground pit.
Oh, like biryani, you make it in the
And so every house that you have has a Lovo pit.
a cooker.
So
basically,
it has two things: a Lovo pit and cyclone shutters.
What the hell is that? For the cyclones.
For cyclones, because cyclones hit that place anytime. It's by the ocean, and it's
So you lose 2 citizens a day normally. Just
nothing.
Keep the window open. Sorry, auntie.
No, you just put the cyclone. People know there. It's native wisdom. They put cyclone shutters. Ke aane wala hai. And everybody puts shutters, and it's like scary.
right.
The cyclone very scary. So the Lovo pit, you put your meat and everything in the pit, and there are stones, white color stones, which you heat. And then you have Yangona.
Like overnight.
For few hours. So while it is cooking, you have Yangona and beer.
Oh, I mean, you can't waste time.
You can't waste time.
Yeah.
So you are all seated around the Lovo pit. You are enjoying yourself, and you have a barbecue. You have lamb chops, on the barbecue with.
But do they have masalas and all? Because that's a big
Nothing.
issue.
So I introduced masalas there.
That's what?
Everything was like the lamb chops were in soya sauce and ginger.
That's what. Exactly.
I said, yeah, this is very boring. थोड़ा इसको spicy करते हैं. So they started enjoying that. Lovo में also a plain chicken, plain pork used to go in. They used to take an entire pig and put it in the Lovo pit. And it used to be bland. Just pasted with salt.
So where do you get the masala from?
Full of Indians. But the Indians there are mostly Gujaratis who eat
But they're
only
Bhojpuri speaking. What Gujaratis?
Gujaratis, and so the Indians I knew were Gujaratis and the Biharis. So Biharis eat mutton, goat curry.
Right.
So they have all these migrant communities, whether it's Suriname in Caribbean, they have created their own masala. They have a Caribbean...
From what they have there.
The curry masala, the curry powder. It's become the much bastardized curry powder, so which I have never approved of.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, make up. You have regular masalas. So make it from that. It's like buying ITC chef dal tadka and...
One more sponsor gone. Thanks, Hansal. You're working so hard. We nearly got ITC. ITC was right there. We were on the boundary. The Seema Rekha.
Very good, ITC.
ITC, very good. Very good.
So I started introducing, chicken. I made a tandoori chicken kind of thing in the thing. And so they started enjoying that food. I realized that I'm not bad. Now, when I look back, I realize what I subjected people to, kacha masala and whatnot. But I started learning. I used to call my mom to miss her food. So I would call her.
You had never cooked before?
I had cooked very little. I used to cook little bit with my mom, but not that much. But now I was...
you were the star.
It also became a thing. I enjoyed cooking. So I said, dal kevi banawani. So she would tell me. People would come to my house, what have you cooked today? So it became a thing.
Did the locals like your cooking? The actual Fijians, the ethnic Fijians?
They love Indian food.
Yeah.
They love Indian food. So they would eat, and they actually used to eat very basic food. So, the arbi. So they call it dalo.
Well, that's the problem we have for Indians everywhere. All the food is less sophisticated, no? And they don't do anything to food.
They don't. It's very simple. It was very simple. So dalo and lamb chops, that was their daily meal, and I don't mind it. Right? I miss it. It was actually nice, bland. You have
because it's a different taste, exotic taste for you because it's less taste.
And arbi on the barbecue, very nice. So you have fiber and you have protein. It was actually a very healthy meal, and no one, those guys were fit. So much beer, so much yangona. I used to ask them, how come
You're so fit.
you're so fit? Because they would be in the sea all the time. They, it's like pahadis. Can just go up and down the mountains. Similarly, these guys can just jump into the sea.
Yet your average guy in Pali Hill or Malabar Hill is not fit. We have our own mountain, but I don't see fitness there at all.
Pali Hill is a mountain?
It's a mountain.
Okay.
Hill chota mountain hai na.
Malabar Hill bhi hai.
I mentioned Malabar. I live there. Yeah, it's a bloody mountain every day to go up there for no reason. Okay, we'll suddenly run out of time because we spend too much time in Fiji. We need to move because you have a whole career to talk about in less than 35 minutes.
But we'll talk about Khana Khazana. That's the
No, how did it?
that's the
Why
origin
did you
story.
come back then?
I came back because of this accident. I felt I started missing my home. I felt I needed to come back to my parents, see them for some reason, and I came back. I 6 months it took me to hand over my work. My work had started doing well there. So I handed over everything there. I came back to India, and I did not want to get back to programming. My parents were a bit shocked about what I had been doing there. कि क्या कर रहे कि you were cooking.
But did you make money? Did they pay you?
Nothing. I was making. It was okay. I mean, no complaints.
But you couldn't send money back. Dad, buy a Mercedes. I'm doing so well.
Nothing like that. So I came back with a CD player. It was an exotic thing. I bought a nice.
You don't have to tell me. When the CD player came, my dad bought it at home and I was so excited. Who knew 10 years later there will be no CD player? They just changed the technology. How dare you change technology and make us look
I
foolish?
came with the CD player and CDs because I was working for South Pacific Recordings.
Yeah.
So I came with their CDs. I knew how to burn CDs, which nobody knew.
Yeah.
So I came with CDs and all. And I said, what do I do? And by then ZTV had started. So I went to ZTV. I had a typewriter. So I typed out
The old typewriter?
Electronic typewriter.
Huh.
So on that I typed out a proposal for a food show. And I went to ZTV. I said, "Tukka hai, nahi laga to nahi laga. I'll have to get back to computer programming." And so I went there and I went to Sunil Gavaskar's office.
PMG?
PMG.
In Tardeo?
In Tardeo.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Sumedh Shah.
Yeah,
I might have shot with you there.
Yeah.
Because I shot a lot of
That
stuff.
Stump Vision, that show, did you do that?
I did some of the shows.
Some of the episodes, different people were doing it, yeah.
Ajay Kapoor used to do it.
Correct. Ajay Kapoor used to do it.
Yes.
Can you call Ajay Kapoor on the show?
Yeah, he was a pioneer of sports.
Yeah, of course.
So I went to Sumedh. So I got a job.
Sumedh Shah, of course.
Sumedh Shah.
Yeah.
So Sumedh Shah gave me, he took my tapes,
Huh.
the rugby tapes.
Huh.
And he said, okay, I have some work and you come. So I started working for them and I gave this proposal to Khana Khazana and ZTV called me in 3 weeks and said, okay, we like the show. You can make it. We have got this is the budget. They told me the budget was 32,000 per episode. And they gave
That's
me
much more than our podcast. And that is 1991 or something.
1993.
1993, they had more money in a unknown director with a vision.
I know. I did
20
not know
years.
that I was a director also.
Yeah.
They gave me 50,000 rupees ka check,
Wow.
advance,
Huh.
and said, "Ki, give us 3 episodes." And
As
that's
a
how
trial.
Not as a trial. They said, so this is the beginning. You start, come to us, interact with us,
I
and
would
they gave
like
us.
to talk to Mr. Subhash Chandra for 2 minutes here. 32,000 an episode comes to 96 grand. Because I'm good with accounts. 50,000 for 3 episodes. 50,000 for 3 episodes means you're short. 46 grand. What's the story?
Credit.
This is no way to work in our country. In Fiji, this never happened.
It always happened.
Oh, it always happened. Okay. Because the people speaking Bhojpuri are running. It's a different story.
Because people used to keep their word,
Yeah,
They would,
yeah.
if you take credit, you pay back.
Yeah.
So, but we started off that way, and
So how did you find Sanjeev Kapoor in all this?
so they actually suggested some. Earlier, it was a show where I used to feature restaurants in Mumbai, and later on outside Mumbai. The top restaurants, Delhi Darbar and
Yeah.
Only Fish.
Oh, I remember that.
Only
Sachin's favorite restaurant.
Yeah, so it then became mainland China and Calcutta and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Same guy, Anjan Chatterjee.
Anjan Chatterjee, yeah.
So he was advertising agent. He
Yeah,
was
he still had an agency. I think he still does.
He still
right,
does.
Right?
So he had an agency.
Huh.
So we featured Delhi Darbar, Goa Portuguesa.
Yeah.
So they were all newer restaurants.
Jafar Bhai of Delhi Darbar. At that point, he was alive.
Jafar Bhai, he only came.
Yeah, fantastic.
And amazing on TV.
Greatest biryani ever.
And amazing on TV. So he would make the biryani. So I'd say, "Kya dala?" I would have tambaku, pirsta dala. I said, "Pirsta kya hai? Zara audience ko bataiye." Kanda hai. So it's not very TV friendly. Kanda hai, tala hua. So that, but we made some episodes. They gave us an anchor person, a female anchor. They wanted a female to anchor the show.
Everybody wants a female.
Yeah, they said, women watch our shows.
Visibility.
Then women watch our shows. So
that's true.
They will relate and all that. So I was opposed to it.
Why?
I said women might be watching your show, but they want a credible person showing them what to cook.
What an
They want
anti-woke
somebody-
moment back in the day.
They want somebody.
But you say what you just said.
Yeah,
they want a credible person, so it's not a woman. Now do the maths. I'm not saying
Look
anything more.
credible, a
मैं
chef.
भाग जाता इधर से. I'm already involved.
You need a chef. You need a chef.
Yeah.
People, there's an aspiration that at home you cook food that you eat in restaurants.
Right.
And around the country, it's not only about Bombay. It's about all the cities. At
True.
that time, it was Bombay. We were living in Bombay that time.
Yeah.
And
Point noted.
yes,
But then the show is over. We'll need legal support. We'll need our own bodyguards.
you have a cop out.
You have a cop outside. Can I tell them? Hansal has to travel with a policeman for. It's a long story. I won't get into why. But he needs protection or someone to watch over him because as you can see, 30 minutes the podcast
he talks bullshit.
Yeah. There's always trouble around the corner. So you decided to go with the male chef.
So I kept telling them, and I'd gone looking for a chef to anchor the show. So I met a lot of chefs. Centaur Juhu was a hotel
Of
that
course,
time,
rocking.
really good
Yeah.
hotel. So I went to Centaur Juhu. I met the general manager, who incidentally now is my wife's uncle. So at that time, that guy did not. So he introduced me to 6 chefs. Okay, from the hotel,
Right.
and none of them were Sanjeev Kapoor.
Okay.
I met all of them.
You didn't like their personalities.
I met them. They were nice guys.
But not
talked to them.
telegenic.
I talked to them, and then while I'm talking to them, there's a other guy comes and he gives me his card. He says, "I'm Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. I'm the executive chef." And I was wondering, if there's an executive chef, why am I with all the
All
other
the smaller
chefs?
chefs, yeah.
But kuch tha. It was a government company, so you know the. So I got his card. I finished the meeting. I called Centaur. I went home, called Centaur, and I asked for Sanjeev. I said, "I stay in Khar. Can you come and see me?" He came, met me. I said, "Yeah, I met those guys, but I think you should be anchoring the show." And that's
So
how
you didn't do any audition or anything. You were just talking to him.
I was talking to him. I liked him.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been. It's been like that
So
since.
today he's a multi-millionaire. Do you get 10% of everything he earns? You should. I speak as a lawyer here. You discovered him. You went above the others. You
No,
broke
and also
protocol.
I shot with him.
Huh.
I took a risk. I shot with him.
Yeah.
I sent the episodes to Z and got screamed at.
That he's not a woman.
Yeah. That ये क्या लेके आए? What is this?
कम से कम मूछ उतारो.
हाँ, वो मूछ वाला था तभी. बोला, what is this यार? ये मतलब you got a chef. ये क्या है? They really shouted at me. So I lost all that money.
What?
Yeah. The 3 episodes that we sent, they refused to accept. So they said they wanted to can the show. So I literally fell at their feet. Kamlesh Pandey used to head.
Yes, writer. Huh.
Yeah. So Kamlesh used to head ZTV. I went and touched, almost held. Caught
What
his
are you
feet,
holding?
His feet. Ke boss.
Feet. Boss, heart issues are. I
Kamlesh.
told you don't go all over the place with this interview. Huh?
Kamlesh, please. मतलब मर
Or
जाऊंगा.
come less, as we say.
हाँ, बर्बाद हो जाऊंगा. So Kamlesh looked at me and said, "ठीक है, I like you. That's why I'm giving you." He started shouting at me. I like you, so I'm giving you another chance. He was very angry with me.
But, but the anchor?
So then we changed the anchor. So then I said, "You tell me who." So they gave me an anchor. And so I shot with female anchor. We shot some episodes with restaurant chefs, and it wasn't working. And the show would come on air every week, and the channel would say, "Oh, there's no TRP, kuch ho nahi raha hai." So by the 13th episode, and every 4 episodes I would beg with them, "Thoda chala lo," because
You got your extensions.
I need
somehow.
I need to recover money. I've lost a lot of money. This show is very expensive. So, on the 13th episode, some other chef was supposed to come. That I don't know. They caught wind of the fact that the show was going to shut down. He had said this is the last episode. इसके बाद हम extension नहीं देंगे. So it was the last episode to be shot, and nobody was there. I called Sanjeev. I said, Sanjeev.
What happened to the girl? You said
She was
last
there.
episode.
So I said, Sanjeev, you shoot with the girl. You come as a guest chef.
Right.
So I called Sanjeev over as a guest chef, and Sanjeev came. He was like unprepared. He came on his bike. He had a Rajdoot.
Yeah.
So he came on his Rajdoot, landed up there, and said in a Hero Honda. He came on a Hero Honda.
Bro, both these sponsors are available for us.
Yeah.
Rajdoot and Hero Honda.
Hero Honda.
Rajdoot's still there?
I don't know.
I mean, not his bike. I'm just saying the company.
Yazdi is there.
Yazdi is there. What a
Rocking.
bike. Rocking bike. Solid Parsi bike, bro.
Yeah.
But not very fast. Sorry.
Then Sanjeev came and he came and said, "Acha, kya hai?" So I said, "There's palak, there's paneer, there's all these things are there.
Usual stuff,
There's chicken." I said, okay, ठीक है, कुछ करता हूँ. And he made this dish with palak, which is stuffed with paneer.
Right.
And with a tomato sauce. Okay, and it was like a very attractive looking dish. He made that dish, and then he made a chicken. It was cooked in, it was poached chicken breast, cooked in a creamy orange sauce with pepper, with white pepper. That's it. And the episode went on air. I mean, it was the last episode to go on air, and we were going to shut down. The episode came.
Big hit.
Big hit, matlab that recipe is today, even today. It's now 93 or 31 years.
Yeah.
31 years later, that is a signature dish served at every banquet that Sanjeev does, every marriage that he caters to. It's called Sham Savera.
Wow.
So
Sham Savera dere yaade aate hain. Right?
Very bad.
Sorry.
You
I
beat the
apologize.
Bengalis.
I am so. We have two Bengalis here. Be careful.
Yes,
okay.
you beat them.
One Assamese who hates to be called Bengali. So I just start a fight there.
It's worse than the genders are all over the place. If Bengali
So what you're saying is you saved your
if a
career.
Bengali wants to feel good, go to a Parsi.
So what you're saying is you saved your career, but you're destroying mine. That's what you're saying.
So
So cut a long story short, we have to go into a break. So he becomes the anchor by chance because of this. When you
because
kept him
Sham
as a
Savera.
guest.
So the biography, Sanjeev's biopic,
Yeah.
which whenever I make, it's going to be titled Sham Savera.
Fair. Yeah. But what a story.
It's a and
But there's a tragic ending. What happens to that poor girl?
yeah, that is.
We'll take a break. Wish her well. Life has been very hard. EMIs that have to be paid. She still hasn't got the flat. Lives on a park bench somewhere in Demelo Road, which is that side of town. Hansal did his best, but you can't save everyone.
Well, she hates me.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus sits down with Deven Bhojani to dive into behind-the-scenes story of his legendary roles from his debut in Malgudi Days to Babahu or Baby. On A Century of Stories India, Kunal recounts and reveals the daring and covert escape of the 14th Dalai Lama from Lhasa to India, fearing for his life every step of the way. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam Gupta is joined by Ajit Menon of PGIM, and they discuss all about the retirement readiness survey and why it's important to have a passive income. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on YouTube by their show names, so do look out for them and have fun watching. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: IDFC First Bank, Axis Mutual Fund, and SBI Mutual Fund.
Back here with Hansal. Let's quickly get to the stories. He's telling me so many things offline, I don't want to miss them. So you've got this police protection. I won't get into why. He's made many films. Some of them here and there have rubbed people the wrong way. This happens with an artist. Just tell us the experience of the cop for a minute quickly.
Nothing there. So the guy who is currently with me is an actor.
What?
Yeah. So he acts. So
He's not really a cop.
He's a cop.
He's pretending to be a cop.
Well, the gun is real.
Jesus, man. How can you take a chance with some joker actor? I mean, we just read about one actor who shot himself in the leg. No names.
No, Joker.
No names. Names.
Joker and actor are two different things. Joker is Joaquin Phoenix.
Ah, very nice, sir. Very nice.
Yeah.
But what about my reference? This famous actor who shot himself in the leg. You know the story, no?
Yeah.
Nobody knows why. Oh. It's-
Alec
Alec Baldwin shot somebody else.
So, you see, sometimes it's figuratively, sometimes literally. So, he's been doing it for a long time.
Stop it. No kind words for all these artists, legends of our time.
No, he's seriously the man who shot himself in the foot is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. But one time he was king.
No, and
Undisputed king in the 90s.
I've enjoyed films like Nobody's Business.
The old films, you mean?
Yeah, the old films.
Yeah.
There's nothing new.
Okay, let's get back to the That's true. Let's get back to this
Don't
police
keep this
presence.
Dhoni to bichara.
The police presence.
So he's an actor. His name is Jeetu. Jeetu Jadhav. And very good actor.
And we're looking for roles for him. That's why we're
No, he has done, he did a play, he did an adaptation of Florian Zeller's The Father
Wow.
in Marathi for some police, so police has a lot of cultural
Correct.
activities. So
Yeah.
he performed for them.
Is he any good? Have you seen anything?
I heard that he was very good.
So you must be hoping to get a role out of this.
He's very cool with me.
But does he do Maru dialogue while opening the door? And, Rishte mein hum tumhare baap
No,
lagta hai."
he's very quiet. He's very quiet, but very good looking guy. Very good
Hansal,
personality.
let me draw the line here. This good-looking guy is not my conversation. Huh? I know you're very woke and all that, and you have rainbow-colored socks, but hey, bro.
Yeah, look.
I may be old, but my eyes only for the ladies. Hey. And I mean like ladies, huh? Oh, that's damn cute.
Good.
This reminds me of Fiji. You wake up in the morning, all these vibrant colors. Yeah. Okay, listen, we have to get to the whole career. So Sanjeev Kapoor, sensation. You suddenly, overnight, both of you all were launched into, possibly the most popular show for a long time.
Well, it is.
And how many years it ran?
And the magic was, the show comes. At that time, there were no SMSs, ke Airtel
No,
pe
no,
ye karo, wo karo. So
No marketing options.
10 days later, I get a call from Z. So they had something called the response department, where they get responses from fans. So they said, give response collect karne aa jao. So I go. So response usually used to be 20 letters or 30 letters, which is nothing.
Yeah.
So I went. So Antakshari used to have
So 20 is the average.
average. I go.
Antakshari got 20.
No, Antakshari used to get thousands and
Antakshari
thousands.
was the biggest show.
Was one of the biggest shows.
In case you don't understand, please Google it. Antakshari was a huge show. This is the
I
90s.
think it still
huh?
runs.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah.
They may have changed the name to Johnny out of sheer boredom.
So I went there and there was a cement ka.
Oh, I thought you meant a short hero.
No, cement ka bori.
Huh.
And it was filled with letters.
What are you saying?
Matlab running into perhaps 50,000-60,000 letters.
What are you saying?
Yeah. And they were all for that one recipe, Sham Savera.
What a phenomenon.
So, and those letters, matlab they were Rakhis for Sanjeev, poor guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Out of the Park. 6 runs. So what do you do stand up? You got this lovely poker face, bro. I'd come to watch. Praise, and then God, man.
So but they were Rakhi Sanjeev भैया कि आज मेरी सास को मैंने बड़ा खुश कर दिया आपका ये शाम सवेरा बनाकर आप अब मैं मतलब आप भैया हम आपको अभी हर साल राखी भेजेंगे मतलब बट ZTV got कि this show is not seen in Worli.
Yeah.
The problem is people sitting in offices think
everything is in some
everything happens in that
Worli Dadar, Nariman Point. It's not that.
It's not that. There's a world outside that, and those people responded to the show, and so they said, okay, we are giving you an extension. Yeah. But you do it with this guy only now.
Come on, I mean, wow. What a marketing department genius the guy was like. No, let's get rid of the guy who got you 60,000 letters and let's go back to the girl.
And then it just took off. Then Sanjeev came onto the show and the show just
took off.
It just
for me, growing up in the 90s and all, I think he was a one-man, it was, the Khaana Khazana was a one-man institution. I mean, everybody knew. I mean, just...
And I used to I used to have 2 camera persons
Yeah.
on the show, and they were people who would come fresh out of FTI.
The point of your daughter is in my mind now that you said camera person and not cameraman. Growing up again in the 90s, nobody said camera person. Kahan se aa gaya? Even if they're women, we say cameraman. Now look at
Camera
him.
person,
And he has to be the most careful. Huh?
So they would be fresh out of FTI. Some of the best cinematographers.
Those horrible communists that come straight from.
So all the commies came to my set. they got food.
Yeah. And yet one of them dared to say, "Sham savera nahi milega kya?"
So I used to shoot, edit, package the show, everything myself because the budget never went up for a long time. That's ZTV.
Yeah.
But I mean, they gave me the break.
No doubt.
Yeah, they gave me the break, and then they started. We sort of warmed up, and a year later, they had a show called You Love Stories, which was short films.
Completely different genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fiction, and I'd never done fiction. I'd never directed actors. I'd not done any of that. So the producer of that show had disappeared, had gone off on some other work or something. I don't know. She stopped producing the
Right.
show, and they were in a soup. They needed episodes, and they needed somebody to produce. So they asked me, "Are you interested?" I said, "Yeah, of course I'm interested. Because I'm not making any money out of Khaana Khazana.
Yeah.
I'm losing money there, so might as well lose money here also." So I said yes to this. They said, "Do you have any stories?"
I think Hansal has put that in only for the tax department to leave him alone. Huh? क्योंकि पैसा नहीं है तो भरेगा कैसा? हाँ.
टैक्स तो मतलब मैं बहुत भरता हूँ.
बहुत भरता है. तो पैसा obviously
India's-
पैसा बनाता है. You understand?
India's highest communist taxpayer.
Okay. How much last year?
Huh?
How much last year?
Don't ask.
Ah, damn it.
The
You'll need some kava.
urban Naxal department of income tax is looking for me.
Hyderabad estate, right next to where I live. Sorry, huh? So you did the.
So they asked me, "Do you have any stories?"
Oh, you had to come up with the stories also. I thought they had written.
Nothing.
Huh.
So I said, okay. So I had a thing about writing, and I wrote a story. It was just a
A
story.
love story.
A love story. I wrote a nice, soft love story, borrowed from everything I'd seen all my life. And I wrote a tender love story, and I sent it to them. I said, "This is a story." They said, "Lovely, make it." And so I said, "Acha, so let me look for a director." I looked for a couple of directors because I had never directed actors. I didn't know how to cast, nothing. So no director was, warming up to it or saying कि इतना पैसा चाहिए. I said, इतना पैसा तुम लोगे तो बनाओगे कैसे? So we just went into a loop. I went to Z. I said, "Yeah, look, it's not happening. I'm not able to get a director for the show."
Huh.
He said, "Sorry, we thought you were directing."
Huh.
I said, "Acha, you think I can?" I said, "We thought you were directing. That's why you came to us." I said, "Okay, chalo, मैं करता हूँ." I actually took it up that way, and I said, "Now what to do?"
Cast yourself because everything else you've done. You've written it.
So
You
I
come up
did
with the
not
concept.
cast.
You've directing it.
I cast somebody who I knew as
Who's-
we grew up as kids.
Oh.
Her mother was used to work with my grandfather. My grandfather was a doctor, homeopath,
Right.
and her mother also was a homeopath. So I knew that was the only actor I knew. So I called her Shefali.
Shefali Shah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was Shefali
She was
Shetty
unknown.
that time.
Unknown.
Yeah, she
Theatre.
was doing theatre,
Yeah.
Gujarati theatre.
And who against her was who? Who was the male?
So I'd seen a show called Asman Se Aage,
Huh.
and there was this guy called Bijoy Anand. I don't know if you remember him.
I do.
Yeah, he's a model.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
He's quite
Bijoy.
famous, huh?
And now he's a yoga instructor apparently.
वो ठीक है ना आसमान के आगे गया वो भी. What happens, bro?
First time,
Yeah.
your timing has been good.
Good. It's taken 48 minutes, but we got one. So
You're getting there.
This is Liverpool, Man City, bro. 1-1. Yeah. Okay, listen, we have about 7-8 minutes to get through your entire career as much as we can. And I'm now trying to think which will be the. I wanted to ask you about Mehta.
But this actually got me
Into the fiction space.
yeah.
And
it
Director.
and I realized that I was able to direct,
Yeah.
and it did well.
Yeah. But you could have cast Sanjeev Kapoor and that girl and solved a lot of problems.
No,
Why? He can play a lover and she can play the other side.
I had enough of him in Khana Khazana.
Achha, it reached a point where the relationship. Are you all friends?
Very good friends.
Can you call up and say, Sanjay, bachot?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Anytime.
That's a test of friendship, I feel.
No, I call him Sanjeev.
Sanju as Marathi. Sanjeev.
So his the back kitchen chef, Chef Sanjeev. आने वाले हैं.
Like my father used to say for my friend Gaurav, Gaurav. I didn't want to ever change it. Gaurav? Saurav. Where is Saurav? Where is Gaurav? All right. Mehta, just very quickly, if you can tell us, even Aligarh, you take these stories which are real, somewhat real at least, or initially they're based on real experiences, and they're slightly controversial is not the right word. They're risky stories to tell sometimes. Let's just say, I'm putting it that way. So why do you do that? As in, is there a kida where you want to just, open society up to certain things, ask questions?
I just feel that there are stories around us that we don't know about. And by knowing those stories, I think we know a little bit about our world, try to understand the world that we live in, and try to get a better understanding of ourselves. These are character studies.
Yeah.
And by studying people who are around us, you get a better understanding of your world.
But looking at Mehta, the Daniel Pearl story also, I mean, that's such a dark situation to want to do. I mean, coming from the love stories and the Khaana Khazana and the Fiji experiences, it's almost like you want to go to these...
and
we flinch. We don't want to even...
Funny thing, I started with love stories and I've made 16 or 17 feature films so far.
Wow.
And not a single love story.
You're out of love, bro.
Well, too much in love.
Too much in love. But, and what about Aligarh? Because that's also a path-breaking...
Aligarh was...
it's a true story, right?
It's a true story.
He's a professor who's in Aligarh.
In AMU, he was...
Maharashtrian name, I forget.
He was sacked, Professor Cyrus. He was suspended over his sexual orientation. Yeah. And it became a big thing at that time. Although when he was suspended, 377 was actually
criminal.
No, it was not there.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so for a brief period of time, Section 377 was
removed.
Was revoked. And
as in it didn't exist. So
it was revoked.
They made no decision. Revoked.
It was revoked. It's a Victorian law. So it had been revoked. The courts had revoked it until it was brought back by the Supreme Court saying the legislature needs to decide, we can't decide. So the law was sort of brought back a few years later. So in 2013...
They were ducking it. Nobody wanted to take it on.
Nobody wanted to take it on. So when he was suspended, so it was a powerful story because law or no law, our attitudes need to change.
Yeah.
It's so much about human attitude.
Yeah.
And apathy, that lack of empathy towards that person. By judging him on his sexual orientation, by suspending him, we condemned him to a life of loneliness.
Highly educated contributor to society, who you
he was a poet. He was a Maharashtrian poet.
Yeah.
And the man was condemned to a life of loneliness. So Aligarh was actually about 3 months, the last 3 months of his life.
Oh.
It's about his last winter. And it's a film about loneliness. So you actually don't pick up true stories because they are based on true events. For me, it's a character.
The human factor, which is...
There's a character and there's something about loneliness. You pick up a theme.
You don't look at me. I've been lonely for so many years.
Yeah, you're looking...
You've been married a few times. You don't know what loneliness is.
I know it better than you.
What are you saying? You went to Fiji?
When you married many times, you know what loneliness is.
Learn something from the experts. Yeah. You know what is a Victorian law which they've not revoked? Women cannot show their navels in public. It's a law.
Really?
And I'm not sure whether it's a bad law. I'm just kidding. I mean...
Section?
188.40.237 paragraph 8725 IPC. Okay, listen, we have to call you back.
It's not called IPC, huh?
What is it called? Indian Penal Code?
No.
Penal, like Penal. But it sounds dirty.
No, so
let me show you my penal code.
So penal code is not sanskari, so it's called some...
Penal.
Nyay Samhita.
Nyay Samhita?
Nyay Samhita.
Nyay Samhita. Beautiful.
Bharatiya Nyay Samhita or something. BNS.
Yeah.
That's what it's called now. It's not IPC anymore.
Yeah. So now if you go to a government office, they'll be saying Nyay Samhita, and then in your ear they'll whisper like penal. Because otherwise, it's how the roads get renamed and we have to keep telling them what the old name is.
So penal is part of...
Yeah. Penal is a Gujarati name also. I have a friend, Pinal Shah.
Yeah.
It's a very popular name.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. There's also ANAL. We've discussed that, but
I know. I have a friend.
There
you
you
have
go.
a friend called Pinal. I have a friend called Anal.
I wish they could be friends.
No, there was a Baba who came to my house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he called me, the name he gave me was Analak. Anal.
Anal luck, but it's still you're getting away with it.
But Anal. Anal is fire.
Yeah. Well, oops.
Agni.
What did you eat last night? Okay, we have to get you back to discuss all the films and everything else, the TV shows, so many other things. Because it's not fair in 1 hour to, we can't do justice to Hansal Mehta's story. He went on talking about Fiji. It's not my fault. I thought Fiji will be 2 minutes. I think when you look at the thing, it'll be 30 minutes or 35 minutes of Fiji.
Yeah, we should do it on Fiji.
Yeah, we should do it on Fiji. This is Hansal Mehta on Fiji. This is the episode, guys. This is not Hansal Mehta the career. That's another story.
Everybody, I've spoken about it.
Yeah,
everywhere.
you can Google him.
Boring.
Boring.
It's on Google. It's
but
everywhere.
to understand he went through a car crash and had beer in 15 minutes after that, I mean, that's just what a beautiful, heartwarming story, really. Okay, these are AMAs, which fans of yours will write into us, and then we've chosen some. Kazilion says, what are your memories of directing the film Ye Kya Ho Raha Hai? What was going through your mind at the time? I don't know why he's asking this. What was going through your mind at the time?
Because it was perhaps the first sex comedy of our times. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
There was no sex comedy before?
There was not something so...
Surab Modi films and all, not funny?
They were very sexy.
Men in skirts.
Just
very
because
often.
Parsi matlab Surab Modi.
You know that John Kavas, a Parsi, was the first Indian hero in Bollywood back in 1920, silent movies. Before the turn was discovered. No? Tum kidhar jata, main kidhar aata, dadar kahan hai.
Idhar hai studio.
So couldn't get
Studio
work.
idhar
Ah, studio idhar hai, udhar nahi hai.
वो हर लाइन में छोड़ियो बोलेगा.
Dil dikadekko, dil dikadekko, dil dikadekko.
ये छोड़ियो.
So what was going to your mind? Did you?
It's a sex comedy. What else?
No, but were you worried?
No. I was given that film by Harry Baveja. He was the producer. Harman's father.
Harman's dad, yeah.
So that's where I met Harman. Harman was actually the producer. So he wanted me to make something like American Pie.
Oh.
Yeah. So I remade American Pie.
In Lokanwala?
No, in Mauritius.
Mauritius.
Good time. And we had 8-9 new...
You never went back to Fiji to shoot?
I keep telling people that Fiji chalte.
I hope somebody
the
picks it up.
airfare, people get scared about the airfare.
How much is it?
It's very expensive. It's not easy to get there also. You have to go to Sydney. And from Sydney,
via
it's a flight.
Australia.
Yeah, via Sydney.
Ouch. Okay, fair.
And equipment has to be got from Sydney. So it's a bit messy.
Economic nightmare. Dilip is asking, in reference to your recent tweets, though you have been in the industry for so long and given consistently good and successive film series, etc., do you think the industry critics are yet to give you your due? You feel you're not given as much love as you should get?
I've got more than I ever thought I deserved. So I have no complaints.
So you don't feel...
Sometimes I feel, you're human. So you see reviews and you get pissed off. And I have an easy way of dealing with it. Which is, I tweet about it.
You get out of your system, it's therapy.
Therapy. I just say whatever I want. Sometimes I go after.
Do you regret the tweet? You pull it out?
I don't. I don't.
If you watch the show from the point I said, do you pull it out? I'm referencing the tweet.
Yes. Because if I regret it, I wouldn't have 4 children.
That's true. You definitely pulled it out. We should stop before we can't go back. Yeah. We're reaching Fiji, bhai. Dark Hood 91 says that Scam 19... Oh, we didn't even get to that. Scam 1992 theme music is cult. Did you guys expect it to become so iconic? Also, what kind of blockers do you face on the Scam series?
Blockers?
Hardships, so you're trying to stop it. Harshad Mehta story, huh?
Nothing. Actually, it came during the pandemic. So it became a big source of entertainment for the country. And
what a huge story it was back in the day.
Back in the day, it was a big story. I was in Fiji when Harshad Mehta's story was unfolding in India.
So you're off the hook.
No, my father used to tell me on trunk calls, this guy is there and a lot of people are making a lot of money on the stock market. By the time I came back, it crashed.
No, but in our part of town, he was famous for his Lexus.
Yeah,
so
and
he was stand out at that time. We would all say, "Oh,
and that photograph in front of the Lexus."
Yeah.
So we bought that Lexus.
Oh, the actual one.
The actual one, and we refurbished it. It looked very nice, but you start the car and it starts spewing smoke, throwing water. The
sad.
it had a carburetor. Remember something called a carburetor?
Yes. I'm an 80s, 90s kid. Yeah, I know all these things.
So the carburetor would get hot. And the
Overheated,
bonnet, when you
yeah.
open the bonnet,
Yeah.
there was a bamboo inside. So it didn't have the stand.
Oh, so nice. I miss those days. Yeah.
So it was the car barely ran, but we got all our iconic shots. Him standing,
Yeah.
and the Lexus is still with Applause, the producer of the show, and they threaten to gift it to me every year.
My God.
Okay, this is for you. I said, please.
Does it come with Pratik Gandhi inside it or?
Pratik Gandhi is always there.
Yeah. It was fabulous, huh?
He's terrific.
That was scam. After working on Khaana Khazana again, after working on Khana Khazana for so long, do you get free meals at Sanjeev Kapoor's restaurants? I mean, or at least a discount. I mean, this is a valid question. You made him in a way.
Well,
if he didn't meet you, he would just be he would have been a happy, successful chef, but not more.
I get better than that. So Sanjeev, Sanjeev cooks really well. So his home cooking is terrific. So restaurants, where does a chef?
So he calls you home.
I go home. I have food cooked by him, and it is really terrific. Even in Khana Khazana, whatever he used to cook.
So who cooks in his house? His wife or him?
Both of them. They're both very
Because
good.
he works all day in the restaurant and he comes back and the wife says, "Okay,
He
khana
doesn't
banao."
work in
I
any
think that's
restaurant,
wrong.
yaar. Ye kya matlab?
No, he was.
He's
He
a-
was.
he's
Now he's
a-
an entrepreneur. It's a different story.
Entrepreneur, big entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Net worth of some 1,000 crores.
Crores,
or
yeah.
something,
Food series and all that.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
So, but he cooks at home and the food is really outstanding. And even on the show, whatever he cooked,
You tasted the food on the show?
always. So the rule there was that if we don't like it, we will cook something else. Then it's not worked out. Sometimes dishes don't work out because you're also experimenting as you go along.
See, you are the pioneer, so I want you to, as we end, give a message to Kunal, my friend or caterer, which is that he's a fraud about all this. They never say bad things about the food. While you simply tell Sanjeev, I don't like this, let's do it again. You see, there's a big difference. You're being authentic.
Kunal and I had, I did his show, Khane Mein Kya Hai. So
Did he say anything bad about the food? He never said anything bad.
he didn't, but
After he says bad quietly, but camera ke सामने कुछ नहीं बोलेगा.
restaurant ने हमको जगह दिया था shoot करने के.
That's not the point. It's called darpok. We can't afford to have this kind of attitude.
Tell him.
Where are Kunal's Vijayakars? I mean, come on, yaar. Display some Vijayakars, I say. Okay, Hansal, I'm sorry we've gone
Run
way
out of
past.
time, yes.
This has been great talking to you. Please come back again. Can we talk a little bit about your career and other things? I mean, you've got so...
The career is pointless.
Yeah.
It's a pointless thing.
I like these conversations to just go on their own.
Yeah.
There's no point giving you 10 questions and answers. It's not an exam. Thank you so much for the experience of a lifetime. Just one last thing people all want to know. What is that girl's name, the anchor who you got rid of? Final.
I did not get rid of her, first of all. The channel did.
Fair, but Sanjeev Kapoor aa gaya. So someone has to get displaced. When someone is born, someone dies. It's like that.
It's okay. Time has passed.
Does she call you for dinner?
No.
Does she make food for you?
There's a story about that.
Please say. If you can say in 2 minutes, please say.
So she used to be Pratik Gandhi's neighbor.
What karma?
Yeah. So when we celebrated the success of Scam,
You met her again?
I did not meet her again, but Pratik told me that she lived in the.
You know why the
apartment.
Lexus doesn't work?
Yeah.
She must have been so fucking angry. Yeah. Check that carburetor. There'll be a nariyal inside it or something by now. Oof, what a story. All right, Hansal, thank you.
Thank you.
Very busy man. Lots more to talk about. Part 2 sooner or later.
Thank you.